Okay, working towards hip mobility today. Amazing to get mobile hips. It helps us with our everyday movements. Our hip flexors, especially if we've been sitting down a lot, they get shorter and tighter. That movement then has to be compensated by our lower back. And our lower back should just be there to keep us supported and keep us stable. It shouldn't really be doing too much movement, and that's when we create that lower back pain, is when our hips are really tight. So our hips work in a whole variation of movement, out, in, front, back and around. And we want to make sure that we really create that nice full range of movement through these exercises, which is going to work through to our yoga poses as well. I'll run you through the exercises, showing you and explaining them to you, and then you go away, try to incorporate them into your life every day, as many reps as long as you want to do them for. Alright, grab a strap or some sort of jumper or scarf and have some blocks handy, or 2 books or 2 water bottles. Okay, so we're going to start with a hamstring stretch, so grab your strap. We're going to put our strap around our foot like so. Now, whether you work towards, I've got my right leg up to start with, so whether you work towards your left leg straight out on the mat, or you have that leg bent, wherever you can get to. Really think about this right shoulder pushing into the ground rather than lifting off. If it's lifting off like this, just means you need to hold lower down the strap. Really flatten the whole of the back here. Keep flexing that right toe. Absolutely, you can work with bent knees. You're still going to be opening up your hamstrings. Calming your breath here is going to help you open up those muscles, helping everything that's attached to those hips get looser, get more mobile. Okay, on to the next exercise that you will be doing. Once you've done that hamstring stretch on the other side, recline pigeon. You'll be bending up your left leg, your right knee is going to be bent, and that right toe is over to the outside of that left thigh. Right foot is flexed. Now you're going to be driving this knee away from your face, your right knee away from your face. This is going to be stretching the outside of that right hip. This may be enough for you right here. If you want to keep going, lift up this left leg, pull your left knee in towards your chest. You can grab hold of the front of the shin or the hamstring and pull that left knee closer towards you, keeping both shoulders on the ground. If they're not on the ground and you're rounded like this, just take that stretch out a little bit. Keep that right toe flexed, keep drawing that knee away from your face. Really calm breaths here. Hold this probably for about 10 breaths, both sides. Okay, coming up to seated now, moving in to our all fours. Coming into our cat-cow, so make sure that alignment of your wrists and your shoulders, your knees and your hips. Inhale, you drop that pelvis, gaze up, pulling those shoulder blades together. Exhale, cat. Really round that spine, push the mat away, tuck your chin to your chest. And keep repeating that, really coming to the end of your inhale and the end of your exhale. That's going to really stretch out all of this lower back area and start to work into those hip flexors as well. Okay, next pose we're going to do. We're going to be working towards our lunge. So in the lunge, it's very important to have your alignment. Make sure you grab your blocks. So lunges is very key in our yoga poses. We're going to be working towards the right side again. So from your all fours, pick up this right foot, bring it through. Now make sure that your knee and your ankle are in line. Not necessarily the worst thing if your knee is over, but you need to have very strong glutes to keep that knee joint stable. So work towards this nice stability here with that front knee. Inch this left leg back so you've got a nice deep stretch through the front of this hip flexor. You're really sinking everything down to stretch through that left hip flexor. Keep your hands on the blocks, that's going to keep you nice and open in the chest rather than rounded. With every exhale, you sink this left hip flexor so the front of the hip further down into the mat. Taking one block, placing it on the lower setting, like so, coming into an easy twist, planting that left hand down, big inhale, reach that right arm up. Hold here for a few breaths, and then you're going to come into your half split, so you can grab hold of your blocks again. You're going to start to take your weight back, starting to straighten up through that front leg, flexing those toes like so. Absolutely, you can have a bent knee, keeping this chest nice and open. Working through those hamstrings again. And what would be great is if you repeated that exercise again, so low lunge, easy twist, half splits. Do that a couple of times and move on to the other side. You're going to really be opening up your hip flexor there. Okay, on to the next one. This is fairly advanced, so I'll start with the advanced and then I can dial it down. We're going to be doing deer pose. So, you're going to be taking your right leg in front of you at a 90-degree angle. So you've got your hip facing forward. Your knee is directly in front of your hip. Your foot is then directly beside your knee. So you've got this 90-degree angle. Your right foot is flexed. Your back foot is the exact same but backwards. So your left leg in this case, you've got your hip out to the side, you've got your knee, and straight back, you've got your left foot, which is flexed. Now this is going to be a really deep hip opener for some of you, and you're probably going to start leaning towards the front leg side. So in this case, the right leg. Grab your block, place it under that front sit bone, under that bum cheek. That's going to help you stay lifted. If you're still leaning over because you're really tight, get your block, place it next to you so you can be lifted up like this. You can push into this block to open up. Now we're going to take it one further. This could be enough for you. Take it one further. We're going to be bringing this left leg forward and back. And you really want to use those obliques, so running down the sides of your torso, that's your muscles here, to squeeze it forward. So you can put your hand in front if that's going to give you stability, or onto your waist. Bring this leg up, squeezing this oblique, bringing your left leg forward. Left leg back. And forward. And back. Using your right hand absolutely there for stability. This is really going to open up those hips, working to that full range of motion. And then switch on to the other side. You might have a completely different feeling on the other side, so just check it out. Now, if that is too much for you, what you can do, come here with your legs out in front, just slightly wider than your hips, your feet are bent, your knees are bent. Sit onto your block. If sitting down creates a real big slump in your back, sit on your block to create that length. And you can take your hands out in front of you and you're going to rock your hips from side to side, taking those knees over like so. That's still going to give you that nice range of movement like the deer pose. Okay, so work towards all of those exercises, try to incorporate them in your day, and I promise you, you'll feel an amazing improvement. All right, thank you very much.